Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. I'm Emake, and today we're going to be talking about Sony's performance in their PlayStation 5 reveal compared to the Xbox Series X's first reveal. So right now, we're at an impasse. Microsoft has done one reveal with video games online. They did the stream and they showed a few things. Some were teasers and was basically below expectations. On the other hand, Sony did their reveal just recently and they were able to bring to the table about 4 to 6 exclusives that are going to be coming to the PlayStation 5. And not only that, they showed extensive gameplay from basically almost every single title. They showed gameplay clips that we could see how they actually did run on the PlayStation 5. Now, when you come down and say which company seemed to be much more prepared, seemed to have a lot more on hand regarding their first reveal, you have to concede that Sony basically won this one. I've seen a lot of people say, it didn't seem like the Sony presentation was that impressive. There were only 3 games that I really did care about, and that's basically it. Trust me, if you cared about every single game that was revealed today on the Sony platform, or whenever it is you're watching this video, you probably will not be able to play them all within a year. Except all you did was play video games, then that will be the exception. Perhaps you're a YouTuber, or perhaps you have a lot of time on your hand. But majority of gamers are not going to play all of those games. I think if they were able to captivate you with 1 or 2 games, I think the aim of the marketing is already done. And I'm probably going to guess that the so-called 1 or 2 games that they captured you with were most likely PlayStation exclusives, which is the selling points to be able to ship consoles to the doors or to the houses of people who want to play next generation gaming. And I think they understood their priority and they actually went for it. I was thinking that I would probably defect and be buying an Xbox Series X this generation first before maybe considering a PlayStation down the road. That's basically what I was intending to do. I'm a PlayStation person, not necessarily a loyalist. I mean, I play more on PC as well because I enjoy PC gaming. But after seeing what Sony has been able to bring to the table so far, I think I've swayed back to the Sony side because there's already comfort there. Having owned a PlayStation 4 since 2015, 2 years or a year and a half after the PlayStation 4 came out, it's going to be a very, very hard sell right now to move. But that doesn't mean that Xbox cannot bring something to the table in their July presentation. I think July 12th is what we're looking at, or maybe somewhere around there, where Microsoft is planning to bring another reveal to the table. And we're going to be seeing exactly what happens with this. I think Microsoft can actually do a good job, but they really have to come to the table with a lot, because Sony basically called their bluff. And the way they called their bluff was in a very succinct way. People probably didn't catch it. For their exclusives, they had a logo that was titled PlayStation Studios. I don't know if you saw that. Xbox also has Xbox Studios, it's a coalition of Xbox Studios that's developing video games for the Microsoft Xbox, Windows, and all those experiences on that platform. And Sony basically said, here's what PlayStation Studios is capable of: Spider-Man, Ratchet, and Clank, a bunch of these video games that appeal to various audiences. I mean, it's really interesting that people are saying, oh, all I could get interested in was just basically 3 games. I'm like, yeah, a bunch of us don't play Gran Turismo. Like, we don't play that game, if you understand what I mean. So it's not surprising that among the games that were, showcased, a lot of it was not appealing to us. And this is just a handful of games that are scheduled and slated to come down the road. And I think the exclusives may just be a window of opportunity for them right now. And I can almost guarantee you that they have not shown everything that's, under their sleeves. Why would they do that? It's basically just a taste of what it is that they have to bring. For me personally, almost every single third-person game that was shown there interested me. I mean, it's crazy how third-person games are a very big part of what PlayStation does with their platformers, and these are very appealing to people like me. So like I said, the reason I've actually basically shifted back to PlayStation, it's not only because of the comfort, but what they really brought to the table today. I think for the first bout, the first round, I think they have basically won. Now, another complaint and another concern a lot of people have put out is Sony did not advertise a price point for the PlayStation 5. Well, this is the first time it's been revealed. If you look on the other hand with the Series X, it's actually been shown in different scenarios and in different contexts. But then a price point was not even released for the Xbox Series X after having been shown basically officially twice. Once with Austin Evans when he traveled to the Xbox and Microsoft studios and was actually looking through the hardware, and then the second time through the stream, and they did not announce a price. So I think it's unfair for people to levy the accusation on Sony that Sony didn't even show a price when it was the very first time they were actually revealing the console itself. And I understand that it's probably a game of chess who's going to make their move first in this whole cycle. But at the same time, I think it's up to Microsoft to actually be confident enough to actually set their price point and basically challenge Sony to see what Sony is going to do. And I think this is good. The competition is going to drive prices down, and those people who want to get both consoles will probably be able to get them, but that's not the case for everybody. And so if Microsoft really wants to play a solid game, their next reveal will be when exactly they feel that they need to set their price point. And they need to set that price point very competitively to pretty much undercut Sony if they can actually do it. And I think they can. How do I know? They saved a whole bunch of money last console generation not making many games. I think they should use that and offset the pricing for the initial first few, 1,000, million, or whatever amount of units in order to have more people lean towards buying the Xbox. Because yes, there will be a lot of people who say, sure, it's nice to have some exclusives here and there, but I'm not necessarily concerned about the exclusives. I would rather just play on the Xbox, and play multi-platformers, and that's fine. The price point definitely can, cause the shift in the rift. But honestly, right now in today's gaming landscape where quality of games and expectations are really high, I don't think pricing is going to affect a lot, to be very honest with you. It will play a role, but it's not going to be the deciding factor for a good number of gamers. And I think it's much more of a reality because a lot more gamers already own the PS4. And so for many of them, their transition is going to naturally be Sony giving them more reason to continue what they've already been doing. The burden of, proof, or I guess the burden lies on Xbox to actually try to win players away from the Sony side of things. And like I said, I already play on PC, so my need to play on an Xbox Series X is not really that high. Is not really that, high up there. And I think there's just a few things that can change my mind. Perhaps a Superman game that's an exclusive to the Xbox Series X. That's an instant buy. Perhaps some superhero game like a Batman game that I'm really interested in. That's an automatic buy. I'll be happy to pick up an Xbox without even a blink if we have games like these showing up as exclusives, even timed exclusives on one platform. But to be very honest, I'm not really big on those kinds of exclusives because these are bigger franchises that transcend more than just the Sony PS4 and the Microsoft Xbox. These are franchises that are DC franchises. So I would prefer that they actually not be exclusives of any kind, and Microsoft goes and gets its own exclusives that are basically going to showcase the system for itself. Anyways, that's my video about this entire bout for the first round nonetheless. I think Microsoft would require some accountability from its own fans. They need to be able to say, hey, what are you guys doing for us? How are we going to enjoy a new generation console experience? Let us know what that looks like. So I guess we'll see where the conversation goes from here. If you've not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We'll talk about gaming. We'll talk about all kinds of really fun stuff in the industry. And I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. So thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate your time and audience. Peace.